Alright, welcome back. This is Canned Fruit. This is a new game. This is called Unturned California 2. I was looking through Steam and I randomly came across this game and I figured I'd give it a try. From what I saw from the trailer, it's like a zombie first-person kind of survival. It's first and third person, but it is an open map. They have online servers. I think I just did single player at first, but I was just wanting to kind of see the game and try it out a little bit before I got into the multiplayer servers. And when I first loaded in, I was on a beach. Again, I really wasn't sure what the gameplay was going to look like, but this was just my first impression so far. The graphics were pretty good, though. It's a pretty simple looking game. And I found my first village that I was going to find some loot at. There's a lot of different looting mechanics in this game. You have to kind of look around to find any supplies. You don't have any on you when you first start. And I found my first zombie that was lurking around the city. And I also found out that you could drive cars, so I was definitely going to do that in the future. But it doesn't end up going pretty well. But I did find a rake and a hammer from the house that I just looted, so I started to fight this zombie I found. And he wasn't too strong, so it wasn't much of an issue. But there were more in this house. And I just continued looting for a little bit. Whenever you hit the zombies with a melee weapon, at least they freeze for like a few seconds, so that does help in combat. And this zombie on the ground got the best of me. But I spawned back about the same place I did at the first round. It definitely didn't seem like a good idea to be out without a weapon, so I definitely wanted to get to looting as soon as I could. And I didn't learn how to sprint or to run already, so I just died again. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't figure out how to kill the zombies that were crawling on the ground. It took me a while, but yeah, eventually I did get around to learning that skill. And I figured I would just run around for a bit and try to find anything new I haven't seen yet, because I kept spawning at the same village. But I did find this little kind of campsite. And this was me trying out the cars for the first time in this game, but like I said before, it did not end up going well. I couldn't figure out the steering for some reason, and it just kept turning right or left, and I couldn't really go straight. Wasn't totally sure what was happening here. I did finally learn how to sprint, but in this game, once you run out of sprint, if you have something following you, you're not going to make it much longer. Especially because I hadn't found a weapon at that point. But I figured no better way to get started than to be looting again, so I got to the nearest house and did that right away. I did like the looting features and the mechanics in this game because you kind of had to make an effort to look around. Things weren't just going to be an open view. I had a little more confidence in looting the bigger buildings since I had this knife, but I still needed to be careful around the city. This is where I discovered that there were different kinds of zombies. I hadn't seen this one. And they can damage you when you're in the car too, I learned that. And I noticed that the game saved every time I died, so that places I'd already been at were already going to be looted. So it saved my progress. But it wasn't really doing me any good. I did end up finding some binoculars, though. I just couldn't find the controls on how to use them for a while, but I did figure it out eventually. I guess you could say this guy was posted up. Yeah, I forgot how fast they were. And just like that, I was restarting again. But I did learn also that the loot saves, so I can just go back to my spot that I died and it should all be there. And there is also a farming feature in this game, which there was a lot of different stuff that I didn't even get into in this first part. But if you guys do want to see more content on this game, let me know in the comments. And I did find my first gun in this game. I didn't even know that there were any. But now I know you could find them around and also craft them, I believe. But I didn't have any ammo, so I couldn't even use it. Yeah, and I bled out on this run, which was very unfortunate. I didn't know you could even do that, but I did. And I had another very unlucky run. I didn't even have a weapon this time. And I figured I would just go out hiking for a while and try to find some new area. But I just ended up finding the old camp that I found last time I did that. I was being very careful because I had died so many times at this point. And I eventually just ran away again. And then I just kind of walked down this highway for a long time until I found something new. And I did eventually stumble upon a prison, which I didn't know was here. You can get maps in this game, but I didn't figure out how to. And I thought it would be safe in this watchtower, but I did end up dying very shortly after this. When I did try to escape, it wasn't a very good attempt. And I got stuck and had another bad round. And at this time I have played 10 rounds. I got an achievement for it. But I decided that I wanted to go into multiplayer at this point. And I found this bird jamming with this CD player, which was really cool. And I did finally discover where this game takes place, which it's kind of in the name, but I didn't know what city. But San Francisco and a few other places are around this map. And I think the zombie was an online player that turned and then died, because when I killed him, he dropped like a bunch of stuff that I didn't even know you could get in this game. And then I got shot at by what I was assuming was that player, but who had joined back and was alive again. And then I spawned back on the beach. I wasn't going to play too many rounds of online. I kind of wanted to save that for another video. If you guys did enjoy this video and wanted me to get back on this game and check it out, because there was definitely a lot more content that I could do with this. And I found this, which I didn't know if it was like a base or not, somebody's like home. I don't know if they have that in this game or not. I don't think so. So I didn't know what this building really was, but I wanted to check it out either way. But I did keep walking, and I found this little pond. And I figured I would just check it out and see if there was any loot or if there was just anything I haven't seen. This map seems pretty big. I definitely didn't explore a lot of it, but there was a lot more that I could. This game was pretty fun for the little bit that I played, both on the online and on the solo server that I played on. But yeah, I think I am going to leave the video here. If you guys do want to see another part of this game, let me know in the comments for sure. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and we'll see you next time.